Hello everybody, welcome back to Level M Diecast. Today we are going to be doing a showcase on the 2003 Muscle Machines JGTC Touring Car Championship release. These were also known as Tamiya in other parts of the world. But for here in the US, they were sold under Muscle Machines brand name. And they were incredible. This was basically at the height of Muscle Machines import type related stuff. I mean, these models are everything that you could possibly want in a 164. They're all metal, ultra detailed. They have opening doors. This one is the Takata NSX. Now, I bought these loose, and fortunately for me, they were almost as perfect as you could possibly get. If you get these things loose, you're lucky if you get the antennas, as they manage to always get to be broke off or whatever. Now, the only thing that I see on a couple of my models is if you look at the orange tow hooks on some of them, there's a slight chip in there, as you can see on this one. However, I think I paid like $2 a piece for these. You can't beat that deal. Ones that are sealed in the package nowadays, people asking 50 plus bucks a piece for them. It's ridiculous. Obviously, Muscle Machines went away, so these never really materialized here. There was a second release, which included a Skyline and some other stuff, but that release was not sold in the U.S., and if I remember correctly, that release was not even sold under the Muscle Machines name. That was sold under the Tamiya name, and I believe that was only available in Japan. I could be wrong on that, but I'm fairly certain that's what happened. I know I've been on the lookout for the second set. I've come across a couple of models. I am very reluctant to buy just one of the 6 models, though, because if I get lucky enough to come across the whole set, that's just a lot of money to invest. So, now our next model is going to be the Toyota MRS. Clearly, it's a hard top. I'm not going to race the convertible around the JGTC tour, but this one's nice and good too. Now these are all metal, obviously, 1,000,000 pieces, 2-piece wheels, rubber tires. Even the brake rotors are separate pieces. I mean, these models are incredible. Definitely one of my favorite things I have in my collection, for sure. Now, I've been hoping that Japan touring cars would somewhat catch on in the U.S., just on the racing side. In my opinion, American racing had been NASCAR for the longest time, and even nowadays people don't care too much for NASCAR anymore, and I'm one of them. I definitely like prototypes. I like Le Mans, touring cars, that kind of stuff. I think that's where the real racing's at, and I think that'll get more popular over time in the U.S. But particular cars like these that don't race in the JTTC anymore, and I think it's called the GT500 now. We just may not see these. I mean, who knows? Maybe in another 5 or 10 years, we'll start seeing these in some retro throwback series of somebody, and that'll be pretty cool. I'd be cool with that. We're going to move on to Another Toyota, the Wed Sports Celica. This one in particular is really eye-catching for me. Just, you know, the chrome wheels, the offsetting with the tire lettering, even though they all have tire lettering. I'm not really sure why this one sets off for me more. Maybe just because it's the roll cage a little bit more prominent in there. You know, it's silver painted. It just shows up more, I guess. I'm not really sure. It's a fantastic model. Couldn't tell you what generation Celica this is, but of course the bases are just blank. But that's okay. I mean, the race cars are not. They're going to have all that stuff on them. I mean, even the fire extinguisher you can see in there. I mean, the detail is ridiculous in these cars. I know a lot of people are looking for these cars, and a lot of people are interested, and it's just hard to get them for a good price. I think that's the hardest thing with 1/64 scale is if you want good stuff like this, you got to pay for it. And you know, I'm definitely one of the ones to say, hey, I don't want to pay for that. I don't want to pay that price. And you know, that's why a lot of my collection is not premium stuff like this. But if I get lucky enough to come across something that is good quality for good price, I'm definitely going to scoop it up. I just wish I could get that second set. Second set is super, super hard to find. All right, we're going to roll with Toyota here. We might as well go to the last Toyota, the most iconic one. Supra. And the one thing that this one has that the other ones don't really showcase, you know, those exhaust pipes coming out the back. Just because, you know, something like the Supra, you know, it's got that big old butt. It really does. And that huge diffuser on there on the race car really emphasizes the change back there. And they did a really good, fantastic job of incorporating that. I don't like the wheels on this one. These wheels are the crappiest ones of them all. But I'm sure they're based on the actual wheels that were on this car when it raced, because these are all real racing liveries. These are not made up. Now on this model, I know when it's rolling around, it looks like the hood opens, but it does not. The hood is a fixed piece. I'm curious if, when they were first designing them, if that was the idea, is they would have the hoods open. However, that's the only one with a separate piece on the hood. And the only other option would be if maybe they were looking at several different versions, and maybe the hoods were different and it'd be easier. It's like Greenlight does. Greenlight will take one particular model and have a bunch of insert or pieces for certain parts of the vehicle, and then they can, you know, make a wide variety of years of that model. Just ridiculous. I hope you guys enjoy these as much as I do. These are incredible. We'll go on to another icon. Mazda RX-7. This one's probably the most recognizable livery to most people. At least in my opinion. This is kind of like a poster car. Poster child car, you know. I mean, these were truly released as a true adult collectible line. I mean, there was no intention on these being for kids. And, you know, even Hot Wheels premium stuff and, even Matchbox premium stuff. I mean, they're aimed at collectors, but they know ultimately kids are going to be the one to buy them. Parents are going to be the one to buy them for their kids, and unfortunately, we don't get quite the level of detail that we could get. One thing you'll notice, I mean, these cars are proper right-hand drive. That one's got that little chip on the tow hook, unfortunately. Other than that, though, it's cherry. Now, obviously, the doors aren't the more modern style where they get a little bit less gap in there. But I'm surprised they even have opening doors. I think they just did it more so just to show off the detail on the inside of them, which I'm totally okay with. Last but not least, my favorite in the whole set is the S15 Silvia. Daijin, I think is how you pronounce that. I mean, the S15 is such a iconic car in the drift world. I mean, it's an iconic car in the JDM world too, but I'm an R33 guy myself. But I mean, it's so proper, I think, just with the wheels and everything. Even the quote-unquote stance, if you could call it a stance. You get people attacking me in the comments for that. I mean, look at it. I mean, it's stanced. There's like no wheel gap in there, you know? This one, iconically, for whatever reason, has the widest opening doors. Get that a little bit centered. Sorry about that, guys. I mean, they even have print on the inside of the car. I mean, it's ridiculous. Well, anyways, definitely looking forward to hopefully maybe someday getting the second set. Definitely would like to add those in. Got these thrown up in my race car display spot. But yeah, we're gonna roll with this, guys. Let me know if you like this video or not. Let me know if you like these cars or not, and we'll see you next time. Bye.